Yesterday, we had this conversation about Donald Trump and his supporters, and I suggested that Donald Trump is not really making anyone more racist or xenophobic. And aside from whether Donald Trump himself even really believes the stuff he's been saying, I believe what is happening is that Donald Trump is catalyzing, coalescing, and channeling the racism and xenophobia that are already within the Republican Party. And we now have a new poll that suggests our hypothesis was absolutely spot on. Almost two-thirds of likely 2016 Republican primary voters like Donald Trump's idea to ban Muslims from entering the United States. About one-third say it makes them also more likely to vote for Donald Trump than they were before Donald Trump came up with that idea. These are the findings from a new Bloomberg Politics Purple Strategies poll, which was conducted a couple of days ago. This, Lewis, is more evidence that indeed Donald Trump is taking advantage of the racism and xenophobia that already live within Republican primary voters and coalescing them into one.
True. I think that he is successfully doing that. But I do think that the things he says and recently probably do cause racism and xenophobia as well, because he just brings this discussion up. I mean, there are probably people watching TV and all that, reading all the headlines now, who probably didn't really even start thinking about this stuff until they heard Donald Trump go off and the media frenzy around it.
Well, one thought I had was there may be some sort of casual xenophobes and racists who, in the back of their mind, they say, hey, wouldn't this be a better country without Muslims or something like that? But it never even gets to the idea of formulating a policy idea. And now that Trump says, hey, here's an idea, let's ban Muslims from traveling to the U.S., the sort of casual xenophobes, the ones who are in the back of their mind saying, hey, maybe we could do something about this, they say, hey, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I certainly it's creating this almost brotherhood like following mentality, and good for Trump. He's doing incredible things with crazy comments, and every week it gets crazier. Imagine what he'll say next week. I bet.
And every week someone always says, hey, this is it. Now that Trump has said this, that is it for his support. But increasingly, we're finding that he can basically say whatever he wants, and it doesn't seem to impact his support because his supporters are so heavily invested in these ludicrous ideas, which, again, I don't even know that Trump actually supports personally, but he's making a really good campaign out of it. And Trump appears to be, in a sense, a master politician. Republican voters seem to like the Muslim ban, ignoring the fact that it's against all of the founding principles of the United States. It's against the foundation of the United States as a separation from religious oppression in England. It all goes out the window. It doesn't make a difference. The Trump supporters love it. And I still believe that Donald Trump is not going to be the eventual Republican nominee, but it is not going to be because he wants to ban Muslims. That seems to be almost an advantage rather than a liability at this point.
Yeah, well, it's just unrealistic. It's not going to happen. It's incredible how crazy people are going over this when it's something that it's basically impossible. It's just not going to happen.